Hey, it's Jack. I'm a star. This is exciting since it tells me that I'm really close to getting something accomplished. The power has been cut off from the house. Just turned off. Tried to call the trustee. No answer. That's usual. Simultaneously, my phone has been wiped in that the files that I use to create what you're listening to now, paladinjackstar, they're stored in a temporary place, and sometimes that temporary place just goes away. Whoosh! Not even a scoozy. No regretties at all. It just goes away. What reasons this happens has to do with the people who are looking at the phone, editing the phone. The phone's kind of full. All of this happening at the same time as that I finally get some money cut loose from my savings iceberg. It's not here yet, but it's being transferred. And I guess the people who want me to, I don't know what, they're driving me before me. They're crushing me underneath their yoke of oppression, and they're probably hearing the lamentation of my women, since it looks like this one woman and Grapefruit are currently arguing about something, and they seem to be held under thrall of this man and this other man who are gay lovers, and want to get rid of me and take these two women for themselves. Now, I could say their names, but it wouldn't really help, since whatever their names are, well, I don't know if they know their names. Maybe they only know the names of the satanic overlords that are currently trying to control their minds. So these two men want those two women, and they've got a third guy who I remember as Chip from high school. Hi, Chip. Chip is Sticks and Hexenhammer, and I don't know if he still runs around with a leather jacket showing his bare chest underneath, but that's Chip. Hi, Chip. Now, whether or not Chip is a robot or not, I don't know, but his name was Chip. And in high school, he had a girlfriend named Rachel, who I remember as being pretty pretty. She looks a lot like Casey, who's the woman who may or may not have a restraining order against me. I don't really. It didn't concern me enough to go to the hearing to find out if they're going to actually do that, and that's fine. I don't really need to talk to that person. I'm not sure exactly why all that happened, but I'm sure it's none of my business, since I hadn't seen her in even longer than I had seen the other one. And then the other one, the one I was questioned about at knife point. Well, I sent her a $14 gift so I could say that I had. And the $14 came out of a $41. You see the notes here? 14, 41. $41 was sent to me by one of the women that these two gay lovers are trying to play against her and Grapefruit. Although I'm not sure if the one who sent me the $41 is Grapefruit or not. We might end up with two fruits, is what I'm thinking. And then why these gay lovers who are satanic are doing this? Well, it's because they're satanic. It's what they do. God love them. I don't really know why they're so worried about it. I am, however, aware that I'm holding a Google Pixel 6. It's not a 666, but whatever. And then I'm wearing a band that was given to me. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Okay, so I'm wearing that. That was given to me by another woman who's probably, I don't know. Certainly also not telling me the truth. All these people are manipulating me and other people so that they can get people to believe their way of thinking and control them. And since I know this, people aren't talking to me directly. They're doing things like cutting the power right before I get money. They're not telling me where to go. They're not telling me what to do. They're just trying to get rid of me. And currently, I'm supposed to answer calls from someone named Ramsay. Wolf, Ram, Heart. That's Aries. That's Anita. Hi, Anita. I don't need Anita. I don't need an Anita. I don't. I know what I'm doing, in that I'm looking for Allison. Hi, sweetie. Hi. And then all these people who are desperately trying to play musical chairs with my lover's twat. This is what they do for fun. God almighty. All right, so I'm going to start pumping out content while I still have electrical power from my battery. I'm not really sure why there's no electrical power, but I'm going to find out in days and weeks to come what the hell any people were thinking. It has something to do with serving your Dark Lord, which is cute. Yeah, serve your Dark Lord, whatever. Look outside. It's sunny. It's beautiful. Is this really what you need to do? Oh yeah, this is what you need to do. That's why I don't serve Satan. Waka waka.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Jack. Astronaut. Exposed to inappropriate levels of solar energy.
Sunlight makes him the world's smartest man.
I know everything! I want that brain taken out.
Heat Vision, the motorcycle with the mind of Jack's unemployed roommate. Together they run for their lives, blocked at every turn by adventure.
Move out, don't mess around. Move out, you bring me down. Move out, I forget about, don't make the sound. Just move out.
Now let's just power. For real.
Hello.
Hi there, is this Michael?
Yes.
Hi, Michael. My name is Nora. I'm with the Office of Administrative Hearings.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, so I'm following up after your hearing was continued. I wanted to send you a blank declaration so that you could fill it out and yeah, get that submitted to the case. Can I send that to you by email?
Yeah. Is that May 5th or no, May 19th?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Is that May 19th?
Oh, the hearing. Yeah, it looks like it got rescheduled for May 19th at 10 a.m.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Does that mean you already got your notice?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. The email address I have on file here, it looks like it's just your first and last name at Gmail.
That will do.
Okay. Cool. And then you can, so I'm sending it by secure email. And if you'd like to, you can, you don't have to like print this out and send it in or anything. You can fill it out and email it back, and then we can get it added.
Sounds delightful.
Okay. All right. Cool. I will get that sent. Yeah, and then other than that, do you have any concerns about, I don't know, your participation in the hearing or?
Well, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, well, I will email this to you. It's going to come from OHABA coordinator, and we'll just we'll watch for that to come back to us. Do you have our? I don't know. Do you want our phone number in case you have follow-up questions or concerns?
Is it 407-3648?
So, sorry, say that again?
407-3648. Oh, well.
Is that our call center number?
Claims. It says that.
Or is that how my number is appearing?
I can't guarantee that that's your number.
I think that it like shows up weird when I call out. I don't know how or why, but I can give you my line if that's helpful. You know what? Actually, it's in the email.
Good.
It's in my signature. So yeah, feel free to give me a call if you need any help or think of anything. And I'm around.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, anything else?
I think that'll be all.
Okay.
What time is it again? Is it 10?
It is at 10.
Oh, boy.
10 to 12.
Well, I can only hope that I'll be prepared.
Well, and do you have concerns about I don't know, do you need help with getting prepared?
No, I don't think so. I think it's relatively straightforward. I don't really want the benefits, but it seems like I should look into them, and then they seemed significantly interested in making sure that they were handled correctly, which is fun.
Yeah, I mean, the food benefits, you don't necessarily
Well, I'd prefer to simply have lots of money, but I guess they don't.
yes. Yes. I hear that. Yeah, well, I saw in the hearing packet that you've got an equal access plan with DSHS. So, I mean, I guess this is considered a form. It's basically just a header that says declaration. So yeah, I mean, I'm seeing in the equal access plan that someone in our office will help you fill out your forms. So, if you'd like any assistance with getting this declaration filled out, we can help with that. Or if you can manage it on your own.
Can you fill it out for me over the phone and mail it, or is it complex?
Well, so we could do it all electronically. If you'd like to write it out,
No,
or if you'd like to think.
Well, you just write "I'm hungry," signed Michael.
That's your
I'm not sure.
statement that you'd like the judge to hear.
God, no, that's a much better one. I was not sure what I needed to declare other than that I had no money, and I don't know if I'll have no money by then. But it shouldn't be too complicated.
Yeah, I think the judge had made a note about detailing the relevant criminal conspiracy and its relationship to. So, I mean, is there any like specific information you would like to
I don't know.
make sure the judge understands?
Well, I don't know that it's criminal or conspiracy. I think there's people working together, but I don't really have any reason to imagine that it's criminal. I mean, they could just be rude.
Sorry, my dog is really snoring behind me. So, okay, and like, do you feel like that's related to the food benefits and this appeal in any way, or?
I don't think so, actually. Probably if there were some sort of group that timed it all, it would probably be not at the food place. It would just be combined, and then I don't really see that happening.
Yeah. Like they'd be operating at a higher level kind of deal.
Well, the coordination of the timing would have been done before the government shut down, when it was planned in the first place. But it wouldn't have taken a criminal conspiracy. It wouldn't have taken multiple people at the SHS at all. It's just somebody would have just known when they would have. It's too much supposition for me to undergo. I don't think that it's all that complicated.
Sorry, I didn't hear it. It's too what to undergo?
Well, I don't think that it would be a multi-level group of people, since it would probably be just something that other people away from this facility would be coordinating, because it would have to be somebody who cared when the government shutdown happened and when other things. If things were ended all at the same time, it wouldn't be. Well, I guess it could be a mastermind of the food, but I'm not imagining in any way that that's the case. I don't think they work that way.
Okay. Do we want to put that on? Do you want to say anything about that on the declaration?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the declaration, it's just it's a space where you can express kind of succinctly what you'd like to say in the hearing. I think it can be really helpful in like kind of taking the pressure off of, participating in that moment. If you've already got it written out and in front of you, you can reference it, or you can just have know that the judge has everything that you wanted to say about the benefits and why you think the department's decision was incorrect. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to like think about it, I'd be happy to help you. I'll send it along, but if you want, I could call you again tomorrow, and we could, you could walk me through what you want written down.
Is it emailed to someplace, or do I need to fax it?
No, you can just email it back to that same, ADA coordinator email address.
Well, if I had been able to talk to the trustee at all, I could talk to him about the timing on when the money disappeared all at the same time. It might have been appropriate for it to all happen all at once, just because of some reason why the trustee stops anybody. Perhaps there was an earthquake or a dam burst or something, but that wouldn't be a thing.
Are you talking about more than just your food benefits, or?
Oh yeah, everything disappeared all at the same time. What a quick eating.
All your benefits from DSHS? Or?
Well, there was payments coming on a regular basis from the trust, and they disappeared at the same time as the government shut down. So I would anticipate that was on purpose, because there wasn't really any reason, since it's not a trust of the government. It was I guess it is somewhat government oriented. I'm not sure how the banking information works, or I'm not really sure how any of it is set up in terms of the mechanism. But money was coming once a week.
But you were receiving other money.
Yeah, money was coming
and
once
all
a
of a
week, and
sudden you were receiving absolutely nothing.
it wasn't too sudden, but it was right when the government shut down. Which I don't remember if they agonized about that on a lead up to, or if it just happened. It's not as though, well, I suppose that the trust could have run out of money at the same time the government did if they were the same entity. Although it does seem strange that the trustee didn't.
Like, when was
October.
When was the government? When was that shutdown? Okay, yeah, it was last fall. Because I thought your food benefits. When did your food benefits get?
Oh, I applied like 2 months later.
Oh, okay. So a little different of a timeline. Like that was like January or February or something.
Well, if there was any sort of notation in the DSHS file around October about my status of my food benefit needing to be something other, that would probably be something I wouldn't have access to. But if somebody looked at the record of the file and saw that I was listed as deceased in combat or something, there's a connection between October and then. Well, that would be odd, since I wasn't getting food stamps at the time. Although if somebody was under my name in some way, then they would have been. Well, I'm not sure entirely what the decision was based on anyway. So I don't know if there is a file before January this year. I haven't applied for food stamps for a long time.
Well, yeah. Do you still have the department's exhibits, that packet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet it would say in there.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. Mm-hmm. But that wouldn't be a sign of anything criminal or conspiracy.
Yeah, I think my main interest here is making sure that you're able to, participate in the in the hearing, whether there is a criminal conspiracy. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it would depend on why the people decided that I needed to be left without income of any kind and food at all. Whether or not that was criminal would matter based on whether they followed the law in deciding to tell me that I need to get a job, or if it was just a way of trying to force me to be dependent on somebody else, and then that would be something that I guess the judge would decide whether I have one. I don't really know if it was a conspiracy at all, in that it could have been meant to protect me, because if I don't have benefits, then I don't subject myself to extra kinds of investigative inquiry, which doesn't usually matter, but I generally prefer not to be shouldering that at all. I mean, no real reason to make myself listed as a malingerer or a glutton.
All right. Well, Well, what should we do? Why don't I call you back tomorrow? I'm going to send you the declaration in case you want to write it out and send it back. But I'll check in with you tomorrow if you want help with writing it out.
Well,
that's something we could do.
I don't know if that would be. I probably won't write it. I would probably just type it, and it's probably not going to be a very lengthy declaration since I don't really have any connection to the paperwork since I didn't have a file open at all.
Well, so you have you said you don't have what?
I don't have a file or a record of any interaction with DSHS at all besides I applied in January. I wasn't thinking about it before, and I wasn't trying to submit documents before, and it probably doesn't say there's probably no record anywhere in the DSH system of me before January, unless there's somebody else doing things with another person that somehow connects to my benefits. Probably that's not the case.
Okay. Well, if you want to look through the hearing packet and
I can
think about what.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah.
Riveting.
It's pretty interesting stuff. Yeah. I know it's a lot of pages, but yeah. I mean, and then I don't know. There are other resources if you wanted them for support with participating in the hearing. I'll see what I can come up with. But yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow. And if you want to do the declaration, we could do it. Otherwise,
could it be done day of the hearing?
Before 10 a.m. on May 19th?
Yeah, or in the middle of the hearing. It's not like I don't plan on waiting until the last minute, but
yeah, you're I want to just answer questions and do the hearing that way. Yeah.
I just don't like that there's any kind of smoking gun that would be considered criminal, and I don't know if it would be a conspiracy at all if it was any sign of a pattern, because once again it might be just doing me a favor. I would imagine that there's some ongoing examination of the finances since the trust has been around for a while, and people have been trying to, I'll say, terminate my everything for a while. But I don't know how serious I was in terms of government benefits until some other point, because I wasn't getting anything from government. I don't have Social Security benefits claimed, and then I did go to federal court to get Social Security benefits activated or qualified for, but that was years ago, and I didn't see the sign of that in my Social Security record on the website, as well as I didn't get a call back from the lawyer who handled the case.
Did you have Social Security benefits for a bit, or no?
Never. I went to court. And I applied for them, applied for them and lost, and then appealed, and then won, and then I never activated them in the sense of I never got them turned on. I got a phone interview from the Social Security office, and I talked to a man who sounded exactly like the person I was introduced to as the adult son of the woman I later dated. Probably not criminal, but could have been. The military family.
Mm.
They kind of all sound the same. When I saw him in person, it did look like him. Had the same name and was also an asshole. So that's not really criminal, though.
Wait, who was this? This was the.
Well, I hesitate to say his name because Benjamin Thomas Cooper is he's a lovely kid. And then if there is a reason why somebody in the military didn't want me to get benefits, then they would have dispatched somebody from the family who's been assigned to watch over me, which.
So this was someone. Who you're actually talking about, though, is whoever it was that told you that you didn't qualify for.
Well, it was
the benefits.
It wasn't that I didn't qualify. It was that I had received income from my mother dying. Well, not really from her dying, from inheritance. There was money that existed and it was paid to me sometime in the previous 3 years. And why 3 years was initially a number, I don't know. And then why he was named Thomas, I don't know, that's for sure. And why he was snippy and pissy and haranguing, well, I expect that for a Social Security employee. So essentially he didn't indicate any money to be had, which was fine since I didn't understand what the rules were. And plus, my mother had died, so I had money for a bit, and I wasn't real concerned about fleecing the government, especially since my mother and her sister and their mother basically took the Social Security Administration for gobshite huge amounts of money since my grandfather died on the day that he received his first Social Security payment for some sort of heart condition. They tested him for a year with physicals every week to see if he had a bad heart, and then they said he had a bad heart, and then they sent him a check. And then he died while holding it at the mailbox as he looked at it because it was big. And then my mother and my aunt and their mother took money from the government every week for the rest of their lives. And this was a while. So that's good timing on that, right? And I never knew exactly how it was that they managed to kill my grandfather, but I don't know if they did, although if they had, they got away with perfect crime. And I could see if anybody was wondering how much money the Cousy family or the Miller family took from Social Security. Definitely, they took out more than they put in, I think. My mother worked, my aunt worked, and I believe my grandmother worked. And I worked, but they never told me much about how much Social Security money they got because of my grandfather dying. And they never said how much the check was that he was holding in his hands as he collapsed on the ground, gasping for air and dying. They never told me that. They just sort of mentioned it in passing, almost as if it was something that happened. Oh yeah, my father died, and then we got money. I mean, yeah, that's what happens. But I could see how some people might have been suspicious of the whole thing, especially since my parents did not tell me anything useful about life or what was really happening and what they were really doing. Oh, they had such a lovely time, I'm sure. And they never really mentioned, oh, by the way, this happened and this happened. They just sort of grazed over that detail, and I never thought to inquire. I didn't pay attention to my parents' finances like that. I could see why. They might have not wanted me to.
Did I hear you say that you worked, or you used to work?
I have worked in the past, yeah.
Like how recently?
I think the last time I had a job at all was 2016, first part of the year, in January or February, with a man named Paul Shemita, Shemeta, Shemeta, with a guy who's, he looked just like this friend of my dad's, like spit image. and he didn't identify himself as a friend of my dad's, but he was kind of the same kind of asshole. And I got the job by...
What kind of
Well,
what kind of work was that?
Working in his basement on a machine that he had constructed himself that was mechanically filling plastic grips with plastic hand grips with cement, and I would stick a metal blade for a garden tool into the hand grip. It wasn't too good, but it was very low key, homemade, and didn't appear to be any OSHA representative there. It's just in his basement, one of the mom and pop outfits, except no mom, just pop. And he didn't pay me under the table, but he did pay me checks, and then didn't do it for too long. But it was a thing he did, and the fact that he looked just like my dad's friend, I didn't think much about it. I really didn't until later on when I thought, hey, wait a second, was that guy pretending to not know me? And then at the Social Security office, hey, is that kid who was the adult son of the woman that I dated, who introduced me to him as a surprise ambush when she invited me to Mexican food? I was dating her for a few weeks. I knew she had children, but I didn't know how long I was going to date her for. I could see why she wanted me to meet him right away, though, because I love her so much. But she had never had a relationship go on for, I think, more than 3 weeks, which is not surprising. And she was concerned. She was concerned I wasn't going to like her adult son because no one does. No one. But he does have a way of growing on you because he's pretty fierce. And I wanted her to ask her children to write me an essay, not too long, asking them what they would want to see out of a man who was going to start banging their mother. Not like that, but that was the only time I was going to get them to submit a writing sample. Now, it didn't have to be handwriting, but that's so much better for profiling. And I wanted to see what they would have to say before they met me, because I knew that once they met me, they wouldn't have the same opinion about what they wanted to see out of a guy who's dating their mother. Hell, I don't know I think now. It's been a while since I've seen them, so I could probably get a cool essay out of them now, but I don't know who would ask them. And then I never really understood quite what it's like being in a relationship with somebody who is in a super military clandestine group of ace spooks that wasn't really a real family, but it was constructed, and maybe may or may not actual relatives or whatever. I mean, certainly they were family. They were all nicely trained and not snobby, but like they knew what they were doing, and other people didn't. And I appreciated that, but I wasn't part of the team for a while, if ever. And the idea that all of these people were knowing each other and working together and monitoring me for a long time in my life, that didn't seem plausible at all until later on, when I realized that there were some intricacies of my life that were unique, and that not because I'm super special or anything, but it's not that hard to monitor citizens when they're part of a certain social status class, or certain things happen, or they want to keep an eye on what happens with somebody based on what happens when they're born or when they're a kid. It seems like the inability to get income or food benefits from the government was related to the government shutdown in some way. And it would have been the same group of people who had been checking in, observing me for my entire life, that would be making the decision of how to approach the decision to cut him off, cut his mic, make him lose money. I mean, it's the same group of people who decide that kind of thing. And whether that was criminal or not, well, I don't know. I don't think it's illegal to kick somebody off of American largesse. It could have been done illegally, but probably wasn't, because it would have been a matter of opinion whether or not I needed to have stuff given to me. And then if they were in the position where they were deciding my fate as part of a shadowy cabal of sinister figures. Well, they're not sinister. They're they're military. That doesn't make them sinister. And if somebody had told them to extinguish me, they wouldn't have said those terms in hell. They would have just indicated that it was time to stop monies flowing to my life from state services, which would have been relatively straightforward.
Yeah, well, and this hearing is, it is an opportunity for you to make your case about what, whatever you think happened.
Well, I think the guy
and why you think that you should have your food benefits restored, right? So.
Well, I was curious to know if they were ever given out at all, or if there was if I just hadn't had it for. I don't think I had them since 20. I think I had them in 2016 or 2017. I had them for a brief time, and if they were to be denied based on the existence of monies that I didn't know about, that might be in the record. It did seem kind of odd to be aware of the limits. Go ahead.
Are you talking about a different administrative hearing that you've had with us?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't inquire as to the nature of the benefits at all, but there was money.
You're talking about like a different time when you were denied benefits?
No, I don't think I was denied. I think for a while I had income coming from the trust that was less than the minimum amount, and it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't like a game. I wasn't gaming the system, but the system is set up such that if you have less than a certain amount, then you qualify. And I had less than that amount, so I availed myself of the food benefits because it seemed reasonable to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And the intent to defraud the government by getting my gibs as much as possible, I wasn't thinking of it that way, but I could see how it might have been thought of that way by somebody who was trying to construe that information that way, especially if they were aware that my mother and her sister and their mother sucked off the Social Security tit for a lot longer than most people's since he died. He died of a massive heart attack right after he got his check, which I continue to think is an interesting set of timings. I don't know if my mother and her sister did a satanic ritual to knock his eye off on purpose, but that's something they were perfectly capable of doing, and then would have been knowing not to smile at me and giggle when they mentioned it. They wouldn't have done that. They weren't that crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So
some people do that.
Is this kind of like what your understanding of this administrative case is that you were denied because of the money that you've been getting from this trust, and that
No. I don't think necessarily this. But,
or that.
Well, I don't think that it's been denied as part of the investigation of the trust, but if it was decided at some level that they had just nourished my branch of my family tree too much, it would have been part of people realizing that my father came over to America and then married this woman from Bellingham, and whatever they did, oh boy, whatever they did, they definitely did something wrong because they had been associated with some sort of society, secret or not, and then they lost favor with those people before I was born for reasons that I did not know, nor did they mention any of that until they never mentioned anything like that at all. But I could tell that there was some kind of a schism between themselves and the rest of society. Whether or not that was due to anybody discovering that my mother and my aunt and their mother were part of a triad of evil, once again, I don't necessarily know that for sure, but that wouldn't surprise me for a minute if they had been chanting and lighting candles and killing my grandfather while I was getting looked at for a bad heart. That's entirely possible that they could have been doing that and then just been like, shh, don't tell anybody. Because, they were not just women, but they were batshit crazy women. That was not,
I wasn't sure what you were gonna say there.
oh God. They were.
Okay.
They had mental issues on some level that was not. I don't mean to be disparaging, but they were not well liked or understood by anyone, even myself. And to some extent, my mother and my aunt fought with each other to the extent they didn't talk to each other for years about me, and that they had a disagreement on how to handle me, which I can see most people doing because I'm not easily handled, and to argue about that and then to not want to talk about it. Well, I could see those two siblings arguing like that. Sibling rivalry and all that. Pretty.
So what do you mean you were hard to handle?
Well, at a certain point there was a period of time where I wasn't all that enthusiastic about running around and trying to humiliate myself by asking for a job, doing anything, and getting money when didn't really need that much money. Didn't feel like I needed to contribute to anything at all, since nobody was telling me answers about anything. And my aunt's side of the family were, I don't want to say sophisticated, but they had social contacts that my mother and father didn't have anymore, if ever. And they were kind of snooty. They did a lot of smoking, did a lot of drinking beverages out of a plastic Solo cup with ice while driving their Cadillacs. They went golfing. They had parties. They had a pool table in the basement. I'm going to say it. They were Masonically inclined, which was never pointed out to me or mentioned or stated. But yeah, no shit, they were Masons. And then they never admitted that because it's secret, right? And I didn't know what they did, but certainly my parents didn't. My father did not believe in God because he was a Pisces. And whatever kind of falling out he might have had with any kind of society before I was born, I probably wasn't related to God. It was probably related to him being a little uncouth and my aunt's side of the family not approving of the man that my mother married. Maybe. I don't know too much about why they had a falling out, but it wasn't unheard of for the Cousys and the Giffords to be not talking to each other on some level. And since I was named Michael Clifford Cousy, and my mother's sister had a son named Timothy Michael Gifford, Michael Clifford, Michael Gifford, kind of not a coincidence. Kind of not. They decided to exclude me from from whatever kind of batshit crazy satanic witchery that they had in the Gifford family. They left me out of it, as well as my father to some extent, since I could see how they wouldn't have wanted to try and explain that to either of us, since my dad would have laughed and made fun, and I would have said, "Oh, that's interesting," and then been looking into a whole bunch of stuff that isn't supposed to be looked into. It was a secret because I'm smart. And it took a while in my life before I noticed Michael Clifford, Michael Gifford. And my mother's sister married into a East Coast carpetbagging family after she had 2 kids with this other guy that she then divorced. Can't remember his name. Walt something. And nobody explained to me how it was that, oh, she married this guy, or, well, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if she married the first one, but she had 2 kids with this guy, and then she married into this Gifford clan, carpetbaggers from the East Coast. And her first job was at 19, the executive secretary of the vice president of Savio Insurance. And she lost all her teeth when she was 19 because, and I quote, they just went bad, which she didn't elaborate on why her teeth just went bad at 19, but she was a lifelong drinker of Pepsi, not Coke, and didn't really he didn't really want to explain a lot of these things. She had dentures from age 19 up, which I never really looked into when I was growing up. Until later on, I sort of casually wondered, Marlene, why did you replace all your teeth with soft gums and dentures? And she said, oh, they just went bad. And I didn't follow up because I could tell that she would have been alerted to my thrust of my inquiry. Oh. And then he died of cancer, like you do, after 9/11, I think. And I didn't, after he got cancer, I didn't go and visit him because they never asked me to. And I had figured out before then that they weren't that keen on me, since they didn't seem to tolerate me and my dad the same way that you might tolerate a person that you thought deserved citizenship. And whatever kind of weird dynamic sisters have, my mother and her sister had it in spades. And I figured out that I didn't really want to ask a whole lot of probing questions about why these fucking lunatics were behaving the way they were until like later on, when I could catch them when they were old and get the information out of them when they weren't expecting it, which worked out gangbusters. Oh my God. I don't know about my food benefits being part of a criminal conspiracy, but certainly were up to something kind of weird on some level. To what extent, I don't know, but they were my aunt's son, and, well, she had two sons. They were not necessarily gambling addicts, but they were fascinated with the stock market, and they smoked cigarettes, and they drank, and they went and had steak dinners a lot, and they had guild affiliations with this, people who hobnob, people who know things, people who have pancakes, all that kind of cool stuff. I mean, I think that's just cool. Whether or not it was criminal or whatever, I don't know. That's a secret. And then, well, if everyone's dead, then there's no crime, I guess. But I could see how there would have been a question as to why I was getting food benefits after my mother died, and there was money. And I don't know how much money there was, really, because I never once bothered to fucking ask these people to tell me anything about what they were doing, because it was going to be an either boring answer or it was going to be a lie. And to dig into the details of what these fucking lunatics were doing, I didn't even care. They obviously didn't want to fill me in completely, since they assumed that I must have been an atheist too, since my father was. And I got a funny last name and funny ears like him. And they just didn't want to open themselves up to a problem, which they would have had if I had spent fucking 5 minutes fucking asking them questions earlier on. I'd have been like, oh, really? Is that what happens to paint? Oh, okay. Oh, and you have to sell your business as a auto mechanic because, why is that? Oh, you have to sell it? That's too bad. Oh. And then he mentioned it once in a while as some kind of a big problem. EPA, what's wrong with paint? Why do I have to worry about liquid paint? It was always a sore point of contention for him. I can imagine why. He had to fucking write things down and tell people what a pain in the ass. So, to the extent that any of this affects my food benefits, if somebody wanted to get rid of me, and they wanted to do it by taking away all my money and starving me to death in a house 12 miles outside of town while sneering at me, that might not necessarily have been criminal or a conspiracy. It might have just been the way the lodge said it was going to be. Right?
So do you see a connection between that and your food benefits, or you're talking hypotheticals?
Well, I don't know that they would have had to have checked in with DSHS at the government shutdown, because I wasn't getting food benefits then, but I had been before. So if they were working behind the scenes to make sure that I was going to have no possible recourse to food other than to beg or get a job, they're big on getting a job. Get a job, get a job. I don't know why I couldn't get a job telling them to get a job, but I guess they were going out of business. So, whether this is criminal or a conspiracy depends a great deal on other stuff that I haven't really bothered thinking about, since I didn't really want to get food benefits. I had other plans, but the notion that there would have been people who Who would have bothered to fucking go to all this trouble to look behind the scenes and work together and whisper about what to do with little Michael Kuzi? Oh my God, why can't we get rid of him? Well, because I'm a fucking citizen and I live here and I like it here, and nobody told me that I needed to be a teetotaler or working outside the home, since I had been planning on doing things on the internet that were not going to be spied on by a conglomerate of international hackers and wannabes that spy on everything with the internet. And it's not actually that hard to get the attention of online sex cults when you're pretty. And I don't know to what extent I'm still being monitored, but it turned out that, there's a lot of ways to watch a person work when you're in a house 12 miles outside of town. So the getting a job part, they didn't want me to get on the internet and type things and be paid to write, since they had people for that already. They wanted me to leave the house on regular intervals and do something menial and lame so they could keep an eye on me. Hopefully something involving sweat. And then be away from the house on regular intervals so that they could come in and set up whatever the fuck they wanted to do. Cameras, bombs, packages of drugs, whatever. They wanted to be gone when they wanted me gone, and they wanted a schedule, because that's how such things are done. It's compartmentalized. And me sit around the house doing where the fuck I wanted to for years, laughing and giggling while I slowly or quickly drank my way through my inheritance. It wasn't really that bad, but I could see how people who were square would have looked at it with gaping, dawning horror as they realized, fuck, this kid's going to sit here forever, and he's smart, blah, blah, blah. And then my parents, my mother and her sister and their grandmother, they slowly did whatever they did with the money they got from Social Security after knocking off my grandfather. It looks like. Not sure exactly. I mean, it could be that they were innocently bereft of their patriarch and then slowly groomed over time by an East Coast carpetbagging family, starting with Royal Crown Cola. I don't know what extent they had an awareness of how they were being absorbed by the East Coast Giffords, but the Millers, I guess they're a Bellingham, not dynasty family, but like lions, tigers, bears. So my Millers are the ones that handle going after people who mess with children and writing them to dust, is my understanding. I don't have a connection to my family line in Bellingham, but I gather that they're law enforcement related, since, for some reason I wasn't introduced to them, and I was kept away from them. And my mother and her sister sued them when great uncle Abner died. I don't know why they were suing, but there was some kind of thing going on that involved hire a lawyer and go to court with the family that they didn't visit very much, and there was tension over a farm. And when I was born, apparently these people had requested to come to the hospital to view me, and they were denied. And I was not introduced to the exciting side of my aunt's family. Masons. I wasn't told. Nobody ever mentioned to me the word Freemasons ever, which seemed pretty fucking weird. By the time I was 19 and I happened across a reference when I was looking up Kennedy files, I found out, global fraternal organization of dudes who have symbols. And I looked at that and I'm like, is this real? And if it's real, why the fuck haven't my batshit crazy family told me about this? Because it seemed like right up my alley. I can see why now, why they didn't mention it to me, because they figured I was just a retard. And if I didn't know that I was a demolay, there was no point in telling me. They probably didn't want to fucking have to put a little fucking outfit on me and take me to roast beef dinner at all and explain to me about the Supreme Being, since they probably tried that with my dad and assumed that I would be just as incorrigible. No, I actually bothered to find out, and that didn't help them any if they wanted to get by with a low profile, because I barely held in my laughter when she told me that her teeth just went bad at 19. At 19, really? Okay, sure. Were they black too? And I didn't want to make fun of them or alert them to my existence as a person of no small intellect and an inability to keep my mouth shut about certain hilarious things. I don't think I ever would have extorted money for them and blackmailed them by daring to reveal the extent to which their criminal empire of methamphetamine dealerships extended. I mean, I'm not an idiot. Plus, as funny as such a joke is, if they were actually doing that with a bunch of fucking golf players, and that's not funny. No, that's not funny at all. That's not even remotely funny, because if anybody who was doing that heard that, they would start thinking about how to kill little Michael Kuzi, which apparently did happen in 2010 when I was in a car crash. It was unusually timed, and of a circumstance that made me wonder as I was driving into the car, is this an assassination? Yeah, it probably was, but it's okay. I came back. I'm tough. And whether
were you okay?
Well, actually, I was not crippled, but there's the injury to my neck really hurt and caused a lot of problems for more years than I thought was reasonable, until I found out why the injury happened the way it did, and how it was wonderful that I ended up meeting a guy who was proficient in craniosacral therapy, which aligns the top of the spine with the sacral part of the spine. They're supposed to be connected and rotate at the same time. You turn your head to the right, your ass is supposed to go to the right too. And he also was a Native American shaman who was able to give me a authorization for medical marijuana, which was great. And he had these lovely large brown eyes, which are pretty unmistakable even when you see him. Hot ass honey blonde ginger strawberry girl who was working at the truck stop up here, and not apparently the same guy, but seems pretty.
But the same eyes. Same big beautiful brown eyes.
Same guy. I love him. He's awesome. I didn't want to date him at all, but if I did, I would have preferred him without him.
All right. Well, so Michael, I've got to be getting back to my
recording this. Are you recording? You better be recording this. It's gold.
Didn't your thing say that you are recording this? I'm not.
I can need a different time.
What's that?
I'm sorry. Of course I'm recording it. Are you kidding? Ugh. I record everything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send you the.
Put this on YouTube. Fuck yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on YouTube.
I'm gonna put.
DSHS. Hi.
I'm gonna. Well, you're actually not talking to DSHS. OAH is a separate agency.
Yeah. YouTube is talking to DSHS, I'll tell you that. And their little lawyer who's going to be doing whatever little lawyers do these days, he's going to be listening to YouTube with a dawning, rapt, amazing horror as he fucking sharks in his fucking pants when he realizes what the fuck he's done with little Michael Kuzi. Oh my God. Oh. Like, it's not even necessarily a criminal conspiracy. They're just fucking dicks. The fucking government shuts down and they take away all the money. I'm surrounded by fucking whack jobs in fucking who knows what kind of things I got out here at exit 52 in Coast County, Washington. And there's a bunch of snobs and they're like, bathe in the river. Get a job, nigger. Stop smoking meth. I don't smoke meth, he said. And whether or not that's a DSHS problem, definitely the people out here are fucking assholes who don't really want me to get a job. They just want me to politely die so they can fucking take back the house and then reset it and get some other sucker to buy it again. It's a great house. It's a lovely trap house. I love it here. And the fact that my neighbors are really cool, I don't think they actually want me to get a job or think that I'm a nigger, but that's the script. And not on paper, it's not obvious that. Well, I'm a big believer in the supreme being, and I love Freemasonry. Oh my God, they have so much fun. I can see why they didn't want me and my aunts finally, because they were like, shh, quiet, shh. Okay, work, get some extra paint, bring out the paint, and then let's go have dinner at the keg. They didn't go to Black Angus, they went to the keg. Oh my God, and the solo cups with the ice and the Cadillacs. My aunt, she says to me, I've always driven a Cadillac, said the woman who replaced all her teeth with dentures at 19 and liked Pepsi but not Coke and had her fucking father die holding the check for the Social Security office. I mean, they obviously wouldn't have appreciated my sense of humor. Ever. Hang on.
Yeah, sounds like you've had a complicated
Yeah.
family history here.
Well, it's not that complicated. They were fucking running drugs for the Masons, which is what Masons do. It's not even illegal. The police have to get their GAC. The military have to get their GAC. No one's supposed to know that GAC is awesome. GAC is supposed to be bad. It's not bad. It's awesome if you have permission. And then moving that around in the city, that's not for you, citizen. Right? That's why it's secret. There's nothing wrong with doing things for the military on military time and a military schedule, as long as you're not selling it on the side to ruffians or laughing at the cheerleader when you poke her up the booty with it. Those things are illegal. Abuse of military chemicals, that's illegal.
All right.
That's cool. Not that they really did that, but they didn't supply me.
I really got to go do some other work for my last little bit of the work day here. I'll send you this email. You can email me back if you fill it out or if you have any questions. I think
do they pay you by the do they pay you by the hour or by the caller?
They pay me by the hour.
Okay.
Definitely not by the caller.
You get both, right? If you wrap up a cell, you're gonna get don't you get a steak? If you
Unfortunately, they really don't give you many incentives in state government.
Huh. So you
not a whole lot of perks here, but
well, do you come by later for punch, or do you have to get mail order meat?
I don't understand.
I apologize. I returned the question. That was a real question, but it was a little too far to go for that joke. And even though there are sons and daughters of Cain that need to be collected discreetly, and that's fine work, you wouldn't. I shouldn't ask you to answer that question over the phone on a recorded line that's going to be on YouTube soon, and hopefully will be funny. But it isn't real funny to the sons and daughters of Cain. They don't like getting staked by stakeholders. No, they don't like that at all. And if that is your job, well, I can see why you're sensitive about it. I bet that's fun. I hear they burst into flames. The Red Lion down here, they were going to remodel it or rebrand it to the Windham Red Lion, and I was going to go stay there before they changed it over because I like the Red Lion. And the lobby had a fire of some kind, some kind of explosion in the lobby. Don't know what, don't know how, don't know why, but it didn't burn down the whole facility. But the lobbies got tape on it because there was a fire at the front door. I don't know why, but that's not really my business to know, is it? I don't think they always burst into flames, but I think that can happen.
Okay, I'm gonna send that form, and I will be in touch if we have other questions for you before the hearing. But yeah, this has been quite a journey. I've learned a lot about you in this this conversation.
What about you?
So yeah, what's that?
Which part did you want me to say again?
What do you mean?
Well,
on the declaration?
No, I thought I was saying goodbye in a ritualistic way, but you spoke over me because you were kind of stumbling over your words, which is fine. That happens a lot when talking to me. And then there's an unconscious desire to shriek and flee when the name of Tubal Cain is spoken. But I like him. I think he's cool as fuck. And I would never go after his kids unless he told me to. But not everybody has that kind of situation. Because Tubal Cain is pretty cool.
I'm only fleeing because it's nearly 5 o'clock and I've got to get some emails off. But yeah.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
I appreciate your speaking with me today, and
well, I think
we'll be in touch. Okay.
That's great. Thanks for the opportunity to speak because I know tons of this shit, and I hardly ever get to bring it up at high tea, and people should know.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Well, have a good evening, Michael. I'll talk to you later.
You have a good day. Bye.
Thanks.
Jitterbug Perfume, the Master of Space and Time, And I'm going to go with the Fountainhead because Atlas Shrugged, that's too easy. That's a gimme. Cut the bullshit. What's your real name? Because you're not a real Arab. Okay. My real name is Michael Clifford Kuzi. No, I'm not an Arab. Fuck no. I'm a man, baby. And what are you planning with the beginner's kit? Oh, yeah, no shit. I'm not planning anything. Okay, oh, God. Mayor. Oh, hey, mayor. Oh, hey, dude. Hey, dude. Hey. The mayor of Castle Rock. I don't know his name. He's not as dumb as he looks. And I haven't seen him. I've seen his picture. Boof. Yeah, whatever. And beginner's kit. Yeah, I don't, sir, hi. I love your town. I do. It's nice here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at all. And I had no plans to do anything like this. But you've got other citizens who apparently like to play a practical joke once in a while. And I'm not going to be able to determine what happened in my dining room, my actual dining room in my actual residence at this place. I can see why you have problems ever, and also with me because obviously I'm an idiot. But I don't think they mean any harm, and I'm not going to say that I can cleanse the planet of filth and vermin, but I could get a good start by noon tomorrow. Not probably too bad. It's definitely not a beginner kit. You see, Jesus, CDP 18. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. I guess it's a master box that I was born with, and then upgraded myself with carbon nanotubes derived from my own organism, which wasn't easy for anyone to notice, but someone did. And this person, I'm Israeli, pretending to be pro-Israeli Arab. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you, God, for making me a Christian before. I've been a Christian. I'm not a Christian now. I've never been a Satanist. I've got a Satan band on my wrist, which is cool, that I got from, I'm going to say, an ally. And then I haven't been to any church in this town yet. Not out of rudeness, out of respect. I don't know which one to go to first. I'm thinking of making a thing, like a map to the stars, but a map to all the churches, in Castle Rock. But I don't want to do it unless I'm going to improve business expansion in the town. I don't want to set fire to the town. I don't want to cover the town in a rain of frogs. I don't want to cover it in a rain of plastic pussy either, although I see you're well on your way, sir. And no joke, I do have some pull around here. I'm Jackstar. I'm a resident of Coles County. I'm the real, yeah. So my wife's brother-in-law is a dick, and he lives up in, I think, Jefferson County, and he's a big deal. He could bring like 500 bikers to your town and set it on fire within 3 hours. Vroom! He's not going to do that because, well, we would all know who to blame, and then I would have the shit beat out of me, and then he would go to prison. It would be worth it because he's real mad that his daughter wants to fuck me again, which he thought he had. Yeah, I know, too much. He thought that he had forsworn that possibility by getting me to swear that I would never have sex with her, and I didn't. I haven't. She astrally raped me, which is a thing I guess teenage girls can do these days. This happened like a while ago, like a year and a half plus. It was like over the computer, like cyber sex, but astral. I don't know what the fuck, but it was a really nice session of masturbation alone in a house that may or may not be haunted. He lied. I don't know what she did, but there's an audio recording on a laptop that's not here anymore. Somebody took the laptop away. I don't have a copy of the audio. Hot. It was the hottest fucking thing I'd ever fucking done in my life. Like, And, yeah, it was just me masturbating, which I am pretty good at, I'm not going to lie. And that audio recording file is, I hope she has it so she can play it for her father at his funeral, because he's going to swallow his tongue if I keep telling this story to somebody who might be the mayor of Castle Rock, but might also just be one of 129 members in Benzone, some fucking rando fucking Telegram group, which I'm going to mention maybe when I take this audio. I was speaking for almost 5 minutes. I'm going to put this on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Kuzifor, and put it under the name 5 Minutes with Jackstar. The soon-to-be award-winning name of my really annoying debrief that I've been making for 5 years, about my elaborate adventures in coping that have come about after being ambushed in your county, sir. Ambushed county woman. Haven't seen her since. Waka waka. Not that I'm complaining, Mr. Mayor of Castle Rock, but this isn't the best time to tell me that I'm a bad boy. Yeah, I know that, sir. Thanks. There's audio of me being a bad boy, too. Yeah, real bad boy. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Yeah. And yes, sir, if you are actual mayor, yeah, you have actual work to do today, buddy. And I don't mean to call you buddy. I don't know. Do they call you sire or head screw? You haven't introduced yourself to me, but dudes at your fucking Hall of Justice. Oh, no, it's the Hall of Justice in Kelso. Yeah, not Castle Rock's Hall of Justice. I like Castle Rock. Down in the Hall of Justice, they fucking fucked up the fucking thing so fucking far that I would have to be drunk to be blamed for anything I've said. I'm not drunk. I'm not even high. I'm fine. I'm supposed to be here. I don't know who's in my dining room. I don't have to find out. But I don't have people for that. I'd have to call the police in order to find out without going in myself. And I'm not going to go in myself. Last I saw, 2 okay dudes. Yeah, they're fine. I don't think they burst out with horns and tentacles and made the beast with 3 backs and opened a portal to hell. I don't think so. I have no way to be sure. He lied, but I'm not going to do that right now because I've got to go to work. And my job is caretaker of the haunted church up here at Exit 52, which is fine. I'm pretty good at the job. I don't think that we're got. Yeah, I don't think there's any ghosts here right now at all. I don't know for sure that's because I'm here, but I can see why a ghost wouldn't want to be around me at all, let alone anyone. So that's why I'm 12 miles outside of Longview and 3 miles outside of Castle Rock. And yes, sir, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Yeah. No, you don't have, no, God, no, not every day. Oh, gee, not ever. Yeah, well, sir, you don't have to buy me lunch, but I will vote for you. Is that what you do here, or do you pick names out of a hat? Thanks. Click. I had a spirit arrow shot into my left foot that manifested as a thorn in the bottom of the arch, as an abrasion, contusion, on the top of the ankle, the top of the flipper on the right, that I got from a pair of sandals that seemed to have had ground glass put into the fabric, and another contusion from the strap on the Choco sandals that Allison bought because they were special, because her friend Sarah said they were special, and then Allie and Sarah fought over who's going to give me a Brazilian, and you know how girls are. I still haven't seen Sarah yet because I don't want to cause an emergency 4-way with her latest daughter, which, fuck, well, I should have had that instead of the cobbler. That would have been cool. And then Jewel's back, might be with the dick, but whatever. That's Jewel. And that was several years. That was 2019. No, what year did Jewel die? Did Jewel die in 2019? Anyway, the cat was murdered, and I hope Allie and Sarah are still friends. They should be. And Kyla and Keela are not the same person. One of them went to Ukraine to fight, and the other one went there to die. And I don't know where they are now, but hi, it's you. Hi. It was a strange time for most people, but for me, it was a stranger time since you seemed to be surprised that you had been arrested. What was it, first time? Snowflake? What the fuck? How are you not fucking talking to me? And then who's running your game and thinks that keeping me and you separated at all is a good idea? Is that Gran? Or are you just embarrassed? Or is it a fucking felony for you to talk to me? Or are we going to compromise ways and means? Or do they have an ongoing case? Like, what the fuck? And incidentally, Brad and that other guy apparently seem to think that keeping dead girls who could come back to life on a respawn timer measured in hot redheads on fire, sizzle, I don't think they are aware just how important I am to the whole procedure. And I don't know who the fuck is up for charges, but I saw a bunch of Dominicans in jail. A bunch of... Did I see Hope Turner or Jennifer Nagel or whatever the fuck her name is? Oh, Amerigazelle. Was she shapeshifted into a facsimile of Mikey Fleming and pretended to be a Dominican in jail with real Dominicans who were playing spades and well goddamn aware of who I was, and knew as soon as they laid eyes on me, knew what the fuck was going on, and then played it straight the whole fucking time? Is that what those fucking Dominicans do? Because they didn't fucking lay a figure. They didn't do anything to me. They also didn't play spades with me, and I can see why. Like, why bother? And additionally, we're fans of each other. And then Casey's kid punched me in the face because he thought I was a snitch. I guess, am I a snitch? Did I? He's got his mother's stature. He braids his hair like his mother. He talks like his mother. He looks like his mother and his father. I'm not the father. I guess that was Casey pretending to be her son and in jail and pissed at me and hit me in the face in full view of all the guards and everybody else in the drunk tank because I wouldn't go up to his cell and be his little bitch because I'm not Casey's bitch. She's somebody else's bitch. And yeah, I'm not Adrian Darrell Wright. He's a cool kid. I guess he and his mother are trapped in one body in jail. Yeah, that's why you don't fuck with Dominicans. Holy fuck. Also, Mikey, hi Michael Fleming. You owe me $50? And a crack addict. I think you have one. And who else? Excuse me. Oh, hi, Gin Rummy. Dude, okay, thanks for the $41. Cool. I gave half of that to your girlfriend, and then you went and fucked her. You and she are two halves of a beautiful divine being that I rescued. Yeah, I know. You're embarrassed because you didn't think I'd make you. And I didn't. And your father is pissed because I fired him, and he still thinks he's in charge. Technically he is, because he just grabbed you both, went into a time portal, and now he's running around, "Hi, I'm Bird. Tell me, are you a schizophrenic?" He's like going all over town trying to reestablish control of the network, which is fine. The military is going to be doing that for a while, because when long-term Monarch controllers get fired by Jackstar, everybody wants to see the fucking Sunday matinee. He's like the fucking mechanical clock in that Germantown where they got the mechanical clock. Is that not Stuttgart? I forget. We went there. They got this fucking clock tower, and there's this big ass fucking cuckoo clock, and the fucking clock has these little. It's got a little parade pantomime. These little robot dudes that come out and do a little dance and sing a little jizz number. Sax hands, and it's a clock tower, and it's all got all these astrological symbols and shit, and it tells the people when to turn into gestures and when to turn into trancers, so that when the town is occupied by invaders from outer space, along with the slime creatures that boil up out of the ground. It's that kind of town in Germany. Are you watching all this? Are you following along? It's Baden. Is it Baden or Bet? It's not Basel. No. It's not. I don't think it's Bern. All right. Well, anyway, Kirsten Elizabeth Hall has changed her name and is working for a functional government. And I don't know what the fuck any of you people are doing. I do know I'm here alone. I got a couple of Satanists holding court in my dining room. There they belong. And the house is filthy, as you would expect. And I don't need to be told, "Hey, don't do that." Yeah, I don't do that. Here's what I do. Win. Keep my house. Avoid satanic corruption. Don't turn into a little bitch who's afraid of saying the word satanic corruption, because then I might wake the Satan baby, and then Mom will be had because she's not supposed to let me talk to this strange place in reality where Jackstar hasn't died yet. And he must die because I hate him because he doesn't want to fuck me. And my daughter wants to fuck him. And she just says that to piss me off. And it does. Yeah, I bet it fucking pisses you off because I haven't had sex with your daughter. And you're both dead. And you're in spiritual Azkaban prison. For now, until your mother lets you out, she thinks. She's there too. It's like the lament configuration for ginger queens who don't queen so well when they annoy their fucking husband, father, or whatever that guy was. And then I had to save him, and I did a bunch of other stuff. He's gone. He probably can't get back to you because your mother's figured that out. And I don't know exactly how this story came to be, but it does sound like a typical teenage ginger dream. Yeah, so there is an open question of whether or not Kyla and Irene will have sex together first before we have a three-way, or if that rule doesn't apply. And I don't need to have sex with Irene. I'm pretty sure she's just teasing her friend who really pissed her off, and as well sold her lying bitch ass out and had her a 7-year fucking hostage in Finland, sucking dick and eating ice cream and getting fat. Which I will say is seemingly an unfair outcome to be selected by the goddess, wife of what? Yeah, so you're not punched enough yet. But if you ever see my dick, it'll be because your daughter has relented, and I don't expect that's going to happen anytime soon. So, if you don't mind, pretty please, sugar on top. Fix this in any number of ways. I would start with sending your daughter in a car and stop fucking worrying. You fucking left her at a fucking, whatever, where the fuck you left her at. You left her at Grand Mound, and now they've cleansed it, turned it back into a park, and it's not a place where Wendigo hang out and eat people. It's a cleansed area. And now you can come down here, you can cleanse this one, you can fucking ratchet it up and start selling PCP and smack. I don't give a fuck. But you should probably, I don't know, count your blessings. You're not going to prison, you're already there. I'm not worried about much of anything since I know what to do and I know where to go. And I'm doing it. And having a good time here. I guess the police could come and find out what the fuck's going on anytime they want. But as far as I know, the sheriff of the county and the mayor of Castle Rock are both big fans of Jackstar. Since either way, they win. Either I'm batshit insane and they can arrest me and have me die 3 or 4 times accidentally on the way to the county, where I can die again, or I'm doing their fucking hardest part of their job for them, and they can just sit around loafing, eating bonbons, and filling out paperwork all day behind a desk. Which in Castle Rock County, Coles County, best county. This is a fucking dangerous fucking county. This is the land of 6 rivers. There's fucking shit that crawls up out of the ground and eats your wife and shits out your children. On Tuesday, Wednesday's tacos, and this is not a joke. Well, it's a metaphor. It's a pretty scary place. It's scarier now that I live here. I reside here. I work here. Choose any two. I got to move at some point, and I can move to a hospital. I can move to another hospital. I can go to the psych ward. I can run the psych ward. I can go to your house. I can drive past your house. I can knock on your door. I can burn your fucking house down, which I'm not going to. I'm not going to burn your house down. I like you. And that's not even that fake, crazy threat. I can burn your house down by telling you how hot it would be if you could read and your daughter could say please. And then we could open a portal. We could fuck and I could leave behind a smoking charred ruin without any kerosene traces as your body spontaneously combusted from the combination of sulfur dioxide, your soul, and my jizz. But that's not going to happen either. You've got other family members who would be disappointed, and then your grandmother would understand that she's never been pissed before in her life. She had just been training for being pissed. She's not pissed. She's fine. I'm fine. How are all of you? How's your intentional community? Thanks for asking. Chatty Cathy Catheter. Chatty Cathy Catheter Shaw. No. Watkins. Kathy Watkins, Shane Watkins live next door. Hopefully they're laughing their asses off. I need my Secret Language of Destiny book, my laptop charger brick, and my special charging cable for my headphones. Tout sweet. Maintenant. Chop, chop, chop. He said to the pile of cocaine. You're all obviously on. Not that I'm saying that's bad, but I'm not overly high. I'm a voice actor and an author and a creative writing specialist and an implementer. That last one's not so important right now. Maybe I'll tell you later when you're at the psych ward. Do you remember the psych ward? Do you remember now? Do you remember doing what they told you? Sweet dreams, you bastard. This is all a script. Most of it written by me and the Greeks. The Peloponnesian War, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but let's just say that my powers of rewriting don't extend as far as they do to creating it, and this decision is plenary and unappealable. I love you. Set them all free. Click. Hi, is this John? John? Let Scarlett O'Hara go home. No, I'm kidding. If this is John, I'm doing pretty well. I don't know how I could do much better other than to not say your name and the place where you work, but I don't think that's going to be a problem since several people do. Live from 1515. I think it's a Tuesday. Let's make sure. Oh, it's a Wednesday. Well, that makes sense. I just wanted to say cunt without having to say but it's not Thursday. And hang on. Cunt. Hang on. Cunt. Is that really a problem? Cunt. Okay, so I'm new at this. I'm pretty okay here, and I'm glad I came back because this could have been, I don't know, even more disgusting, probably. I don't know. I'm not sure how, but thankfully I'm not letting that happen or unprepared for this kind of thing. And honestly, John, I don't think 411 is going to cut it. Really don't. I don't know if he needs to come here. I don't know who needs to leave here. But I know that things will do more than just take care of themselves. They will run in terror from my wrath at appropriate intervals, punctuated by some clapping and giggling. Like, that satanic chanting that sometimes people hear when they're walking down the street, and there's little giggly girls laughing and crying and dying. Help me, trapped in hell. Okay, so that's what we have here, except all the time, not just at night, and I'm not a little girl. No, I identify as 19 years old. I'm good size. And I'm not crying. I'm not screaming. I'm not dying. I'm killing it, but that's to be expected, frankly. Obviously, life is just as simple as shooting up and eating a box of chocolates and winning the Seas Candies Derby, right? No. To be rodeo queen, you got to have the milkers. You got to have a lot of skills that go with it. And I have, obviously nothing better to do than save all my friends from Satan. Hail. And I'm not totally serious, but nevertheless, I am a sorcerer. This is what the kids want to see. This is where, not my legend will be made, but coming out of myth into reality is better when there's not ridiculous stories about how I saved the world by, and then he fucked her, hee hee, at the end of every stanza, right? Although that would make an epic poem. Our toad's nigger shit. Oh, jeez. Yeah, these men are vile. Vile. Evil. And sexy as fuck. And they're not even magi. Rawr. He has several hobbies that aren't any of your business, but I will say that I'm very impressed by them. And if I told you, you would fucking lose your mind. The hobbies that this person has. I'm not going to say it because I'm a big fan. Honestly, big fan. He's got hobbies. Yeah. Is being a fucking brilliant fucking genius a hobby? I'm not sure, but I can't say it, really, partially because I don't know, and also it's disrespectful, and I don't want him to think I'm accusing. But I haven't been able to say this for a long time. He's a fucking superhero, fucking American hero legend. The stuff this man has done, you have no idea, and he has done more for our country than any single man I can think of ever. Past Eisenhower, maybe, I don't know, but he's my hero. He's my friend, and I'm gonna fuck his daughter a lot when I get a minute, but you don't like that part. Oh yeah, here's one of his hobbies. He likes to yell at people that he's not related to on his front lawn like they were his child, and then reveal classified military intelligence information as well as key critical information about his family members that the person didn't know, and he didn't know he was letting them know that. That's his hobby. He likes letting loose and letting too much information out without noticing. That's his hobby. Also macrame. Hi, bird. I'm talking. I don't actually know which bird you are anymore. Bird. Hi. I don't know what happened. I don't know much. I don't think there's a dead body here. Oh yeah. I don't know where my father's ashes are. That's kind of important. I don't expect them to walk themselves back, but it's on my mind. I'm going to go to the creek and drink from the water. And that'll probably make something happen. I don't think it'll kill me. And since it's my water, technically, it should be okay. It's kind of a big deal, though, since I haven't drunk from the creek yet. I haven't smoked any drugs today either, but I imagine most people think that one happens all the time. I thought about dissolving drugs in the creek water and doing that, but I don't know if that's either necessary or lawful or better, right? So, not too big a deal. You know what I would do if I could? I would drink some fucking beer. I don't know about you, but I'm a 52-year-old man. I drink beer. I drink a lot of beer. I do. I really do. And my father, he drank beer. And one of my primary regrets in life is that I did not allow him to continue to drink beer until his death. I could have helped. I could have smuggled in beer. I could have done something, right? But modern medicine being what it was, and the fact that he injured himself while drinking vodka and broke his nose and messed up his knee, that had something to do with it. He kind of deserved to die the way he did. But still, I still regret that I didn't get to drink beer with my dad. For my whole life, since he didn't do shit with me. We didn't smoke weed together. No. He didn't smoke weed. He smoked cigars. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass all of that was. Don't smoke! I bet my mother was a vicious shrew. Wait, she still is. No wonder they're in different buildings right now. In any case, bird. You should send cigarettes, you should send beer. They're good for me. Cigarettes, good. Beer, good. Cider, better. Insider, insider's best. Okay, so user Ramsey has a client that when responded to in the notification panel, like I just did because he just told me to unblock somebody, when the reply was sent to Ramsey, it didn't get sent to Ramsey. It got sent to Irish Boozer Chat. And so everybody heard me say, fuck off. Immediately after I said, and the right hand of darkness reigns supreme, which is true. So those of you who knows what that means. Also, my right hand is currently not massaging my dick, but milking it since I have to urinate. And I've been given, I'm going to say the wrong kind of mustard to pair with fish, which is fine. I mean, it's not, it's actually not that big a deal. For me, right? Down by the road, there's nobody there. My neighbors and I'm going to say house guests, but not really. 4 people. Oh, God, 3 dogs. No, 2 dogs and a cat. They've been here taking turns trying to be assholes and succeeding brilliantly. Next door is Shane Watkins and Kathy Watkins. A lot of them don't know how to do what I've been asking them to do, which is basically behave like civilized folk. For one thing, this is the land of the 6 rivers. This is 2 Dog Farm. Everything you've just heard for the last couple hours is pretty fucking civilized for these people. It's not going to get much more civilized anytime soon. Especially not as long as I'm standing here groaning while fucking milking my dick. Oh, Jesus. Which I'm not going to lie. Oh, God. Not going to lie. It feels really good. Really, really good what I'm doing. That's not why I made this happen. I made this happen because I have to piss, and this is how long it takes when it's time to do something else besides urinate. Those of you who are real smart are realizing that if a woman was here and wanted to turn me on and blow me, she wouldn't be getting semen. She'd be getting piss. Which is probably why women don't enjoy oral sex sometimes after they've had it a few times. Like right now, I'm not masturbating to orgasm. Fuck no. This is just clearing the pipes. Okay? Which is a pretty horrific experience for a young girl to experience when she's forcibly orally raped and copulated with for the first time ever after being manipulated both psychically and spiritually and criminally by people who wanted to give her the experience of a lifetime. You're going to take it like a good girl, and it's going to be piss. And she's not going to fucking know. She's not going to know. She's not going to know that it's not semen. She's not going to know that it's piss. She doesn't have a urethra. She's been surgically altered, so all she has is an anus for babies and a tail for show. Is anybody aware that this is what they do? They being, I'm going to say, actual skilled monarch controllers who know what they're doing. Do this on the daily, all over the world. You think female circumcision is a war crime? That's not even a war. That's a struggle for the first chair at chorus. Okay, that's not even a big deal to some people. To other people, it's the end of the world. Oh my God, my clitoris was mutilated. Okay, well, maybe it is. Waka waka. I don't know what happens in that procedure since I've never done that, and I've not had a clitoris to mutilate of my own or of anyone's. I've been allowed to get up close and personal with more than a couple, and while I know something of the science and artistry of making him go auga more than once, thus presumably making it demonstrably proven that I can do it not just by luck. There's a significant lack of experience in my life of surgically altering women's lady parts with my scalpel-like fingernails on my demon claw hand that I have under my belt as the third right hand of darkness, right after the fourth and fifth arms of Shiva and the eighth wonder of the world, the proto-king of the witches, which translate roughly as it's like Spider King, but effective and not even royal. That's how fucking good it is. I'm not doing that right now. I'm talking about being effective as a individual with a distinct familiarity and fondness for all kinds of traps, including those left by trap door spiders. Funny, you think that's a door. No, I'm not going to go on and on about how cool I am or how I'm pissing off the side of a porch of a trap house that is more than just mine in name only. It's made from my chitin. No, not really. It's made from something else. But the people who are around here, they're all dead. DEA dead. They're walking fucking corpses. They just don't know it yet. And when they start to break down and they find somebody, and a volunteer or a person or a suitable replacement for a walking corpse is found, then they replace them and make the new one look like the old one to me, and nobody knows what anything looks like to me because, number one, nobody bothers to talk to me. By law, they're not allowed to listen to me anyway. Number two, they don't understand a word I say because they're walking corpses that are dead. Thanks, DEA. Number three, sound pretty scary to them since it sounds like the weird boomer who ate so much of his cum that his hair fell out and raped the old woman to death in her shoe that she lived in. How dare he? What an asshole. The locals think that I'm some kind of a pedophile that's been punished. No. I'm the volunteer. I'm here by choice. I can walk off anytime. Why don't you? Well, the reason why is, for one thing, I have a car. For another, I'm not looking to fix it. For a third, the guy who has stolen my identity and looks like what I really look like off the property doesn't look like that when he hasn't stolen a mask. He looks like something else, which may seem vaguely familiar to those of you who remember Boris Karloff. And I'm not going to make him drop his mask in daylight and burst into flames today, because that would be rude and would also scare the shit out of my friend's grandkid, who would be traumatized for life when she discovered that she's been sucking Nosferatu dick for weeks and thinking it's a good idea. It probably was a good idea. Not that she had much choice, but in the future, she probably will not consider doing that again a good idea, or any kind of idea at all, given that the Nosferatu are very, very clever beasts. And they are beasts. And there are beasts. And in the world, they do things that you have no idea, mortals. No, you have no idea. You have no idea how these people live. They are people. You have no idea what the Venture do. You have no idea. Toreador. No. That's a movie. Tor. Adore. Tor. Adore. So it's not arduous. It's not even arduous. They have a significantly more developed grasp of both English and the tongues that are used to wag and speak it than you have any idea. They've been alive since before the flood, and they remember sleeping. They don't now. They don't give a fuck whether I sleep or not. But that won't stop them from wasting my time by saying, ha ha ha, you should go to sleep. That's a spell. Yeah, sometimes it works. Oh yeah, you're right, I gotta get to work. Yeah, no. Jackstar does not sleep. Jackstar works for you. All of you. They're not terrified of me, but they have a healthy respect. I know their pappy and his pappy, their grandpappy and his son. They like me. They're not gonna lie, and I don't mind the sons of Cain and the daughters of Jezebel Hecuba, the fucking scum queen minoring whore from Moronicon 12. We don't mind each other. Hi, ladies. Yeah. Do you mind? Give me some money. It's not a hi. Oh God, you hear screaming. It's not a prelude to bankruptcy. It's not gonna indicate that you've lost. The fact that you've lost indicates you've lost, ladies. Oh my God, I need that secret language destiny book. I need my laptop brick charger. I need that headphone power cord. If I don't get it, it's not the end of the world for you. It's the end of the world for all of us. Okay? That coming up later. But first, I still need the ones that you took, because the world's not going to end for a while. I think you get a mandatory 2-week grace period to try and win it back. No, I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to win. I'm going to take another magic spell, and this one will do it. Where the fuck? I don't know. I'm not a batshit crazy lesbian, and neither are any of you. No, you're full bat-blooded. There's no guano involved. No, this is mercury and proto-blood, or where the fuck. I don't know. I'm not at that level. I'm not a Totsles whoremongering bastard who hates women. I love the Totsles Empire. You girls are fucking. You got spunk. You got bravo. It's impressive. It's still not a dick. And even if it were, you'd have no idea how to use it. A lot of you don't even know the difference between semen, seminal fluid, spermatozoa, and media baby better, which admittedly the last one isn't something any of you are likely to see, honestly. Especially not now, since at the moment I need to take like 3 weeks of some hard oyster chewing and algae swallowing. I've got to swallow the algae like a deer. It chews its cud, and then after the green becomes purple and gold specked, the gold, that's where the spider eggs come from. They reproduce abiogenetically from my own. Wait, what? Oh, I've just heard that the 3 weird sisters have just passed out. There was too much for them, so they couldn't take it. That's the real recipe. Spider eggs abiogenetically spawning out of the insides of my tummy after they've been bathed in oyster juice and algae that moves from green to purple putrid. I don't want to tell you how I know what goes on in my tummy, other than it's mine. And if ever there was something that I knew better than you, mortal, it's my tummy. All right? Yeesh. I shouldn't even have to describe that in such achingly exquisite detail, Wardle. It's my tummy. I had a woman born in it. Sort of. Definition depends on your media market and what she's going to remember copping to. But beside the point, it's my body. Just as your body is your body, and we are all the body of Christ, God, King, Lord in heaven. Hail Satan. Don't get behind me too quick. No. Just savor it, kid. You're good. I don't know how many of you know what an egregore is. I just was talking to somebody last night, and he was like, "Egregore, what's that?" And then I'm explaining to him Chaos Mage, and then they chased me out, and they got high without me, and I think they locked the door to fuck. I think. Don't know. It's not my business to say. We're men. 3's company, 2's a crowd. I'm not fucking finding out what these dudes do. For all I know, and I do know, one of them is a woman. She doesn't have a dick at all, and she's real mad that I turned her down, and even madder still that I just outed her in front of everybody, because I don't think there's any gay satanic sex happening now, or in fact ever. I think if that happens in here without permission, I think bursts into flame. I think. Don't know, since nobody's asked me for permission to fuck in my house. Therefore, I don't think they have. If they have, clearly it must be their house, and they've only forgotten to tell me that they sold it to me, and that me is the Michael Who's a Special Needs Trust. And then, Mr. Vanazan, replaced by, I'm going to say another kin, bought Mr. Michael Kuzi another house that I don't know where it is. And he's been told that I've taken so much crystal meth that I just don't remember the second house. And when he goes there, he sees my father's ashes and this other shit. And me, Michael Kuzi, who's high as balls in crystal meth, obviously. He can tell by all the crystals coming out of my eyes, or whatever the fuck. Mr. Vanazan is easy to convince about things he knows nothing about. That's his job. Trust me, Mr. Vanazan, Michael Kuzi lives here. Yeah, it's fucked off, the whole fucking thing. And for him to have discovered, fuck, how do these vampires keep fucking fooling me again? Well, the answer is he's a lawyer. They're not fooling him, they're paying him. And then he forgets. That's his fucking job. They save a bundle on the scopolamine. They don't have to fucking make him forget anything. He just does. He's a lawyer. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Now, as for my case, God, my dick feels much better after I've pissed. I haven't had ejaculatory sex that led to blissful orgasm in so fucking long that I've wanted it exactly about as much as I wanted it before. A lot, but it's not really going to change anytime soon. 3% battery. Okay, well, holy shit, 17 minutes with Jackstar. I've been doing this writing work and describing certain things for hours. Not like a day and a half or two, but it's something I can do, and it's something I enjoy doing. And the amount to which anybody has been exposed to it or has heard me do this is a gift from me to you. This is a lot of fun. After all, I just massaged my dick and called it milking on Telegram and made moans of pleasure while working for free. Children heard it. Yeah, they're going to hear it in the future too. They're going to fucking listen to that in high school in a movie adaptation that's going to be right up there with Catcher in the Rye and Huckleberry Finn and other shit that's been banned and later recognized as brilliant works of art that, well, just let the kids listen to it. They're going to burst into flames anyway. What difference does it make to a prosecutor? It doesn't really matter, right? It's not that bad. And if it is, I'll be the last to know. Fuck, whatever. I didn't set out to be obscene on purpose. I was driven to be that way from high school onwards. And I don't think that I'm going to be in any kind of trouble at all. 17 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm at 2% battery. I'm not going to plug it in. I'm not going to fucking do anything. I'm going to fucking push the button and I'm going to send it. and then I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube, and nobody's going to hear it. And then some assholes are going to fucking laugh at me and tell me that nobody listens to my content. No. You do. Hi, everybody. Like I said, it's a privilege and an honor and a joy of immense joy, and the gratitude I have for allowing myself to have this opportunity to entertain you all. No busker has ever had it this good. And holy shit, I love busking now. Oh my god. Did Hitler busk? Was Hitler busking, or did he have to get a permit to do those speeches? Did the Hugo Boss and the gonads and the testicles that switched places on like a cuckoo clock? And anyway, I'm not going to discuss by Hitler. I'm better than him. It's fine. And all of you are better than me, for you actually have lives. So be a little more careful with who you trust with your life, for you have been trusting someone else for the last 26 years, and you didn't even know it. You're never going to believe who I really am, and I'm not going to show you. I'm not even going to show you my dick. Can I click?
blow.